There's a rookie on the Eagles roster that nobody's talking about, but he might be the surprise star of 2025. While all eyes are on the big names, this underdog is quietly climbing the ladder. Meanwhile, a fan-favorite defender is slipping, and a huge contract update just dropped that could change everything. If you're an Eagles fan, get ready, because this offseason just got a lot more real. Eagles Nation, listen up, because what's happening behind the scenes right now could shape the entire 2025 season. We're not talking about the big headlines or the flashy names everyone knows. We're talking about a rookie, a quiet, overlooked rookie, who could come out of nowhere and shock the league. At the same time, a young safety we all had high hopes for, Sydney Brown, is facing real challenges. And while all of this is unfolding, Jaylen Carter just gave us amazing news about a contract update that every Birds fan is going to love. This offseason has already been wild. Big moves, new faces, hype, and uncertainty. And now, even with training camp still weeks away, things are heating up fast. Let's break it all down. During OTAs and minicamp this spring, there were a lot of guys who stood out. Rookies, second-year players, and new additions all turning heads. But there were also a few players who stayed quiet. Too quiet. And that matters, because while spring practices don't tell the whole story, they do give us early clues. Who's rising, who's slipping, and who might be ready to break out. Let's start with the biggest mystery on the roster right now, the safety position. Right now, safety is a massive question mark for this team. Unless the Eagles go out and sign someone like Justin Simmons, it's going to come down to a battle between Sydney Brown and rookie Andrew Mukuba. Here's the issue. Neither guy really stood out this spring, and that's a problem. For Sydney Brown, it's especially concerning. We wanted to hear that he'd taken the next step, become sharper, more confident, more prepared, but that's not what we're hearing. In fact, reporter Jimmy Kempski came out of minicamp with real doubts about Brown. Yes, he got first-team reps, but so did Mukuba, and that split shows one thing. Vic Fangio doesn't fully trust either of them yet, and it gets worse. Fangio even said Cooper DeJean might play safety in base defense. That's not exactly a vote of confidence in Brown. But to be fair, it's not all doom and gloom. Sydney still got more total reps than Mukuba. And remember, he's still learning Fangio's system after missing time last season. So maybe he just needs time. But that's a big maybe. Now let's flip to Andrew Mukuba, the rookie out of Texas. He hasn't been perfect. He's still learning too. But for him to already be getting a solid amount of first-team reps, that's a huge sign. This kid has range. He hits hard. He flies to the ball. And while Sid struggles in coverage, Mukuba's tape shows a guy who can cover, hit, and support the run. That versatility is something Fangio loves. And get this, they're already lining Mukuba up in the slot during dime packages, sometimes even next to Cooper DeJean. That shows the team sees something special, and they want him on the field any way they can. Even if he doesn't win the starting safety job, they'll find a way to use him. So, what does this all mean? Right now, it's early, but if we're being honest, Mukuba's stock is rising, and Sydney Brown's stock is slipping. The battle is just beginning, but the signs are there. And Eagles fans better keep a close eye on this one. All right, Eagles fans, your turn. Who do you think should start at safety? Sydney Brown or Andrew Mukuba? Are you worried about Sid's slow start, or do you believe he'll turn it around? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's talk about what you expect from this defense in 2025. Because ready or not, this team is changing fast. Eagles fans, we might be looking at two of the biggest X factors for 2025. One is a third-year offensive lineman quietly winning a starting job. The other, a sixth-round rookie pass rusher who could explode onto the scene. These underdogs are grinding in silence, but their impact might shake the entire NFC East. If you're sleeping on these two, you might be making a big mistake. Let's be honest, it's still very early in the offseason. Training camp hasn't even started yet, and a lot can change, but as of right now, the Eagles coaching staff is already showing us who they trust and who they're watching closely. One of the most important battles on the roster is happening at right guard, and honestly, it doesn't even feel like a battle anymore. Tyler Steen is locking it down. Even though guys like Kenyon Green and Matt Pryor are technically in the mix, reports from offseason practices say Steen is getting all the first-team reps at right guard. That's not a coincidence. That's confidence. The Eagles clearly believe in this guy. And when a team puts a third-year lineman in a starting role this early with no real challenge, that tells you everything. Now, Steen hasn't made highlight reels yet, but that's not a red flag. Offensive linemen don't get noticed much during non-contact drills. There's no full-speed blocking, no real hitting. just technique and footwork. But here's what is worth celebrating. Lane Johnson, one of the best to ever do it, just gave Steen major praise after minicamp. He's developed a lot. He's a physically gifted dude, stronger than he was before. And I think you're starting to see that strength show. You see traits where he can be a dominating player. Coming from Lane, that's no small thing. If Lane believes in you, Eagles fans should too. Of course, there are still question marks. Tyler Steen hasn't had much playing time. His numbers in limited snaps haven't been amazing. But with another year under offensive line guru Jeff Stoutland, this could be the year he takes that big step forward. Personally, I'm fired up to see what he does. But that's not all. There's another name you need to know, and he might just be the biggest underdog story of the year. Meet Antoine APR Powell-Ryland, the Eagles' 6th-round rookie edge rusher out of Virginia Tech. Yeah, he was their last pick in the draft. Yeah, he hasn't made a lot of noise during practices yet. But don't be fooled. This guy is a serious sleeper. A PR is crazy athletic. He posted a relative athletic score, RAS, of 9.18. That's elite. And his college production, off the charts. 16 sacks and 3 forced fumbles last season alone. 25.5 total sacks over the last 2 years, more than any player in the entire FBS during that time. Let me say that again. He led the nation in sacks over the past 2 years. This dude is a natural pass rusher. It's in his blood. So why did he fall to the 6th round? Well, he's a bit undersized. His arm length isn't ideal. He's in the bottom 2% of edge rushers for that trait. But don't let that number scare you, because everything else about this kid screams potential. According to Eagles reporter John McMullen, APR has a real chance to earn playing time in 2025. He said, only Ty Robinson has a clearer path to the rotation than APR. If there's an injury or a poor summer from guys like Azeez Ojulari or Josh Sweat, APR is next man up. Let that sink in. This isn't just camp body talk. This guy is one strong training camp away from being in the rotation behind Hassan Reddick, and he's got another major advantage. APR gets to practice against the best. Think about it. He's going head-to-head with Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata every week in camp. That's like learning how to drive by racing Formula One. Even Nolan Smith, last year's 1st-round pick, said that going against Lane and Mailata changed his game completely. Lane's the best tackle in the league, and I wouldn't be half the rusher I am without practicing against him. A PR will get that same chance. That kind of daily challenge, that kind of feedback and growth, it's how you turn a 6th-round pick into a future starter. So, yeah, don't sleep on Tyler Steen, and definitely don't sleep on Antoine Powell-Ryland. These guys are hungry, they're being tested, and they're fighting for every snap. They may not be household names yet, but they could help decide whether the 2025 Eagles fly or fall. All right, Eagles fans, let's hear from you. Do you think Tyler Steen is ready to hold down the right guard spot full-time? Could APR be the biggest steal of the 2024 draft class? Drop your takes in the comments and tell us which under-the-radar player you think could blow up this year. We're not done building this team, but the foundation is getting strong, and these young guys, they're ready to make some noise. What if I told you one of the Eagles' biggest stars is already thinking beyond the money? What if I told you he's focused on something far bigger? A dynasty? Jaylen Carter just made a powerful statement that could define the future of this team. And it proves one thing, this locker room is built different. Buckle up, Birds fans, because this isn't just about contracts. This is about culture, loyalty, and chasing greatness. Training camp is just around the corner. But while we wait for the pads to come on, there's another major story heating up in Philly. It's the Jaylen Carter extension, and this one could shape the entire future of the Eagles. We all know it's coming. Carter's a superstar, a game wrecker, a cornerstone of the defense, and next offseason, he's due for a massive payday. We're talking $35 to $40 million per year, possibly making him the highest paid defensive tackle in all of football. Now, some teams would panic about that kind of contract. Some locker rooms would start to feel the pressure, but not in Philly, because Jaylen Carter just said something that shook the entire fan base in the best way possible. Money's good and all that, but after we won that ring, and I saw how we all looked, that's better than just one person getting paid. I'm grinding every day to try and get another Super Bowl. Let that sink in. This isn't just a guy chasing stats or a huge contract. This is a championship mindset, a warrior who wants more rings, not just more dollars. And look, no one's saying Carter shouldn't get paid. He deserves every cent. But hearing him talk like this, it tells you everything about the culture in Philly. Guys aren't just trying to cash out.
They're trying to build something special. Look around. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. They've all taken big deals, but done it in team-friendly ways, structured smartly, sacrificing a little so the team can keep stacking talent. That's how dynasties are built, and that's why the Eagles have been Super Bowl contenders year after year. You don't just need stars, you need stars who believe in something bigger than themselves. And Carter? He's proving he's one of those guys. We don't know yet exactly what his extension will look like. Maybe he takes a little less than expected. Maybe he signs early and helps the team manage the cap. But no matter what, he's telling the league, winning matters more. And the culture? Oh, it's real. Just ask one of Philly's new additions, veteran swing tackle Kendall Lamb, who recently joined the team after spending 3 seasons with the Dolphins. He couldn't believe what he saw. Now, I understand why the Eagles reached 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Players are never late, never toxic. After every practice, the room spends 15 minutes sharing personal struggles to stay mentally sharp. I never got that in Miami. Read that again. In Philly, players are building more than just chemistry. They're building trust, connection, and mental toughness together. That's not normal in the NFL. That's special. And while other teams may have flashy schemes or highlight plays, the Eagles have something more important, a brotherhood built by Nick Sirianni, who doesn't always get the love he deserves. People ask, what does Sirianni even do? This is what he does. He creates a space where players thrive, where veterans mentor rookies, where guys open up and grow together. That's the difference. And it's why players keep talking about the Eagles locker room with so much respect. So here's what we know. Jaylen Carter wants more rings, not just riches. The team is preparing now to keep this core together. And even the new guys can already feel something different in the air. This isn't just about 2025. This is about the future of the franchise. So, Eagles Nation, what do you think? Should the Eagles make Jaylen Carter the highest-paid defensive tackle in the league? Would you rather see him take less to help the team win more titles? And what does this culture mean to you as a fan? Drop your answers in the comments right now and let the world know what Philly pride really sounds like. Because one thing's for sure, this team's not just playing for paychecks. They're playing for legacy. Fly, Eagles, fly!